We are two Caucasian women.
And we're black. Some of us.
To self-producing.
To self-producing.
Welcome to Drag Race RuView.
We won't get sued.
This show is in no way affiliated with RuPaul's Drag Race, RuPaul, Carlos, or anyone associated with anything that we talk about on the screen. This is purely the imaginings and musings of two local DMV drag queens. Please pay them no mind and don't sue them as they have no money. Thank you.
Alright, y'all. Welcome back to Drag Race RuView. We're here to review season 13, and I got it right this time, episode 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We are two Caucasian women here to give our unsolicited, unnecessary, and entirely unentertaining opinions on Drag Race episode 2.
Speak for yourself. I'm hilarious.
We all know that she's the soul of the show, and I'm just here to look pretty.
Oh my god, you said I had a soul?
Well, you have some stored away somewhere from all the twinks that you've sucked them out of.
Fair. No comeback for that one.
So we're switching up our format this week. We're gonna give you a 60-second review. So Winston, give us 60 seconds on the clock.
So we're back on our island. The girls are playing Drag Race Survivor, and they have to vote off one of their fellow contestants. And Elliot is dismissed unanimously.
And we're back in the workroom with the winner's circle. But Elliot comes back into the competition. All the other girls are like, what? We get to the mini challenge. They have to come up with 2 looks, one daytime, one nighttime. Some looks are fierce, some aren't. And Tina wears a lot of red.
That we are doing a maxi challenge, a girl group number.
They have to write original verses and come up with sickening choreography.
And they do their verses. Some verses were so cute.
And some we couldn't understand what the hell they were saying. We have our top 2 of the week. It's Olivia Lux and Simone. They're all safe. And we're now in a lip sync for their legacy.
And then, you know, we see our lip sync and find out that Simone is our ultimate winner this week. She wins $5,000.
And the first challenge win of season 13.
Now let's go back and let's really get into this tea. Let's go back to our island. These queens are voting, and everyone with 5 minutes of impressions has their own reasoning for voting these bitches out.
Right.
You know, Denali doesn't like that Joey J has chicken feathers. Joey J doesn't like Elliot's look, because who did, and
Kimura, for some reason, doesn't like Utica.
And then we don't see what the other queens vote, but we do find out that there is a tie that they want Utica and Elliot. One of them need to go.
Could you imagine having, like, sitting there in this room with people that you don't know, and in this first vote, your name comes up? Like, how crushing must that be?
It's super crushing because your dreams are like right there. You've already been crushed once. You've already been told to leave. So knowing that like, oh, this could be the stamp that really seals the deal is super terrifying. Now on one very self-involved end, I'd be kind of like, these bitches must see me as a threat if they want me to leave so early.
Right. Well, how would you vote, like, if you were there? I know we, like, hit on this in the last episode, but, like, you're sitting there, who are you voting for?
So first of all, this Drag Race is a game. In a game, you need to have strategy. So when RuPaul rings that bell and says, one of y'all, or somebody has to go, you all figure it out, I would just be there, nice and quiet, don't look at me, do not send me home. And the second a bitch like Rose is like, well, somebody's gotta go, I feel that, sis, but since you spoke up, I'm voting you off. Because you're too ruthless, I need to get you out of here.
Right, that's fair. I don't know. Like, I feel like I would want to try to play it fair and be like, well, this is the person that, like, didn't make the best impression, but also, like, if this is an opportunity to get rid of somebody strong, should you take it? And I don't know. I think I would have to, like, be there in the moment to really know what I would do. I want to say that I'd be ruthless.
I'm gonna, look.
But then you never know, like, these girls don't know that this vote is gonna come back to bite them.
Which is true.
Elliot's not gone.
And without that knowledge, when you shoot for the queen, you gotta hit. So make sure you kill that bitch, because like we do see, when the winner circle comes back into the workroom, RuPaul says, we've got another bitch here. and in walks Miss Elliott with 2 T's, and that is the first and last time I'm going to say her name like that, because from now on she is Elliott.
Elliot,
Because I hate that name.
because it's 2 T's.
So so in this world where we are on Drag Race, imagine that you just won your lip sync, you are in the competition, you are ready. How do you feel knowing a bitch that got sent home, quote unquote, already, walks back into this workroom?
So I guess I have mixed feelings on this, because you have to think about it logically. Like, we're sitting here, there's 6 contestants right now. We're at the start of the season. We know that there's always gonna be twists, turns, goops, gags. 6 people at the start of the season is never gonna happen on RuPaul's Drag Race. So I'm sitting there thinking like, something's going on, I don't know. But if another person comes in, especially if it's someone I beat, I feel like I maybe feel like a little miffed about it. But at the same time, I'm like, of course, like this is just part of the game. You've got to play the game to win. And I think like the girls are calling Elliot a spy, and I think that that's so random. And like it's like, obviously you're not gonna have a 6-person season, girl. Like,
The whole Spygate thing was so random to me, because it's just like, and what, you're not playing Hunger Games. Like, you know, there's, as far as you know, this other team isn't working against you and she's on their side. I mean, we know as a viewer, like, if anything, she hates those other bitches. Right. So,
because we get those confessional.
Right. So I'm like, if anything, she's on your side because you didn't vote her off at least.
Right.
So
we get into our mini challenge, and it's the, you know, staple of Drag Race. You know,
the new staple, because
new staple.
You know, this is what, the 3rd time that we've actually gotten a runway, and
That's true.
honestly, I love this new setup, because what drag queen does not want to work the runway?
Right, and I feel like you can show more about who you are and what you're doing than like jumping off of a thing into water or jumping off into foam. Or,
Right.
You know, like.
Hey, let's blow this wind machine in your face.
Right. You should be able to take a good picture as a queen, but like that's also partly the job of the photographer.
Right.
Like, you need to be able to pose, but the picture is up to them. But we, you know, we get some pretty fierce looks here, I think.
And some that aren't. So let's just like kind of breeze through them. And I believe first up was
Gottmik. Let's do daytime, nighttime, and we'll go through each racer.
Listen, day, night, near, far, wherever she is. Oh, Gottmik was everything. That daytime look.
Stop.
Sunshine and rainbows and MySpace.com. Like, I was living for it, because it's such a side of her that we don't know yet.
Nighttime gives me very Vander Von Odd feels, very vibes that way. Still so stunning.
So I love that, because A, fashion head to toe, but then also, you know, give a look, but also give your story. And as a trans man, they are very proud to show that bare chest, and I love showing some chest, so.
So next in walks Candy Muse, and you know, that daytime look exists on TV now.
And in episode 2, a lot of Candy Muse looks exist on TV already now, and can't say that I like a single one of them. I mean, that daytime was shit, that nighttime was shit, later on her lame was shit, and I'm not a fan.
But the nighttime, I did like the outfit. I wish we didn't have that glory hole in the back. That made no sense.
Yeah.
And the smeared makeup for me, like, it can be very powerful. Like Alaska Thunderfuck at the end of season 2 of All Stars, when she smears her makeup during the movie, like, it made sense. It worked. It was wonderful.
It was
just
intentional.
Messy. Like, when you're wearing a structured, like, very designed piece, your makeup should reflect that, and like just being messy in the front, like the story wasn't there.
Yeah.
Next up we have La La Ree. And then Olivia Lux walks in. I'm just kidding. So Lala's daytime was just so pedestrian, and like daytime, I guess, like, you can interpret it in pedestrian, but this was just an Amazon dress and a wig out the back.
I'm gonna clock you real quick. You've been super nice because you were saying that as an Amazon dress, girl. That was Ross dressed for less.
But let's talk about that nighttime look, though. Like,
talk about it.
she looked stunning. I think her proportions were a little bit off, but I loved the shoulder cutouts, the titty cutout. Like I thought it was a really, really fun take on the nighttime. It seemed very la, especially given what she just gave us on the daytime. Still not one of my favorites, but miles better than her daytime look.
And I think that's the issue is because now that we've seen, I guess, what she has to offer, like, we're judging her on a curve. And for anyone else, that would have been like, this is okay, cute. But like for Lala, this was really, probably I'm gonna guess the best we're gonna see from her all season. Please just get into Olivia Lux.
Oh yes, let's move on. Olivia Lux is next to walk in her daytime look, serving as Trixie Mattel 60s like fashion, and her tiny little purse yet again.
Girl.
And I am literally in love with her. Her beat is amazing. For someone who's been doing drag for only a year, or a
Girl.
little over a year now at this point, like, that beat is on point.
She
That-
knows exactly what she's doing. I love a bit, like, it is a known fact that a woman do carry a little itty bitty tiny purse at dinner time. And she has one for every occasion, and I love that. This look came on the runway, and I was like, cast her in the next Austin Powers. Like, I'm living for this.
Right. Total stunning moment for me. And then we get to the nighttime look, and we see this whole new side of Olivia, and it is absolutely stunning. She has that dark chocolate brown hair.
The hair was amazing.
So beautiful.
The dress, everything.
Fit and all the cutouts, everything was perfection. I saw that screen and I was screaming. I was
Yeah.
screaming.
And let me tell you something. Speaking as a woman of color, like, finding a nude that matches your skin tone perfectly is not easy.
Nope.
Even like Olivia's a little bit light on the lighter side as a black person, but still, finding that shade for yourself is not easy, and you really do have to like kind of pause and take a second look to realize that is a nude illusion.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of nude illusions because they never come off as good as people think they do.
Right.
But she did that right.
Yeah, it was stunning. Both of those were absolutely perfect for me. Next into the runway, it's Simone. Daytime, stunning.
So I'm a child of the 90s. My favorite movie in the world is Baps. And this is gonna be full Baps moment when they first get into Hollywood and, are like these small town girls in the big city for the first time shopping on Rodeo Drive. This was that moment. And she even references like the Players Club. And I really love that she is such a 90s, like she's going after my heart with that.
Yeah, like that is Simone's aesthetic down, is like 90s.
Yeah.
But this nighttime look, I have mixed reviews on it. Love this hair. I think it's really fun. I think it's really cool. But this outfit, I know she's trying to continue with that 90s supermodel vibe.
Yeah.
But this dress just kind of looks like a sheet, like toga wrapped around her, and it's just not the tea.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
She looks like a cat caught in the drapes.
Yeah.
And
But a stunning cat, like like the most fierce cat you've ever met.
the Sphinx, very slanted, like cat eye that we all like try to go for with our makeup, like cat.
Not every fashion moment is going to be the one. Unfortunately, this was a miss. So next in is Tina Wears Nothing But Red Turner. Burner. But let's talk about the looks. So her daytime look, I don't hate it. Even though it's all red, I love the silhouette, and I do love the hair. I wish we were seeing a different color. But I love it more than I love her nighttime look, which is like she's like trying to serve this dominatrix, but because of the tackiness of the red, orange, and the yellow, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look right.
I'm so glad you said that because now that you said dominatrix, I can imagine that in all black.
Yeah.
maybe even with red accents.
Yeah.
And it would still be stunning compared to that.
Yeah. So next up is our last racer.
Miss Elliott.
We love Elliott. So daytime, I like it.
Yeah.
She's giving me some Anna Faris tease. I agree.
Okay. I hated the belt. Can I tell you like the most random reference I had when she walked out in that?
Yeah, tell me.
I immediately thought, you remember that old cartoon Madeline?
Uh-huh.
I was like, she taught at this school.
Okay.
She was that one teacher that came in hungover every day, but she still taught at Madeline School.
Okay, I can see
And
that.
I lived for it. It was like, she's that kind of one, like, when you're a little bit older, you're like, I kind of fuck with her.
But this nighttime look was so stunning. So stunning. The hat, the dress, the shapes that we were given, and this orange hair.
Yes, that one pop of color, everything. You could have taken one of those feathers off of her hat and knocked me over with it because
Yeah.
it was just everything.
It made so much sense. Like when you're doing an all black number like that, like you're almost tempted to make it all black hair.
Right.
But
Oh, that would have been a terrible choice.
But I mean, I think it would have been fine. But like that pop of color,
It plays with the silhouette
and
so much
the
more.
way that
Yeah.
it was laying, and it was just perfect. And the way that she sold it, Elliott was definitely in the top
Yeah.
for me for this.
So for me, Olivia's nighttime look, number one, hands down. You
Yes.
can't tell me different.
Agreed.
Elliott, very close second.
Agreed. If I had to put my top two for the mini challenge, Olivia and Elliott as well.
Yeah.
So let's move on. We're back in the workroom and they're getting ready for their Maxi Challenge, which they just got. They have to perform Congratulations by RuPaul,
Right.
come up with original lyrics for their own verse, and come up with choreography as a group for the entire performance.
Right.
And they have the day to do it.
So this is technically their first real challenge on Drag Race. Of course, almost all of them are completely shook and are like, okay, how am I gonna stand out? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? My favorite moment is Miss Itty Bitty Olivia Lux, like, oh, by the way, I'm a musician.
Oh, right? She's like, actually, I write music.
I kind of do this for a living.
Right?
So
Like, I play the piano, I can sing, I'm so cute, and I'm so good at drag. And like, I'm just amazing. And I am in love with it. I'm like, you think that she comes off as like a genuine Valentina.
and she is so genuine, and that's the. As a viewer, I love it so much. If I were a contestant, I'm like, you fucking bitch.
Oh no, if I was there, I would have been like, I hate Olivia Lux. Like,
Right.
She's the worst ever.
Ugh.
But mostly because I'm entirely jealous of her.
Exactly.
She's gorgeous. So, I don't know about you, but if I had to write lyrics, I have no idea what I would do.
I can't say what I would do in that moment, but I personally, this is one of my favorite challenges of Drag Race. You know, it used to be, I mean, if you're in the top four, you're gonna write your own verse to whatever song they choose that season.
It's not new to Drag Race.
Yeah.
We're new to this early stage of Drag
Right.
Race.
So if I were a contestant, I'd be really excited that it's so early in the competition now, because now I can like really put my stamp. And side note, they still get royalties even if they're off the show. Like, it works for them.
Right?
But I do think it's a little bit more special when there's only 4 people and you can kind of zoom in on each one and really get a hold of
Or you
it.
get a little bit more time with your lyrics.
Exactly.
You know, like you have an entire time to tell a story.
Right.
Whereas, like, looking throughout the performance, as we're about to go through, you know, Gottmik comes on, and Gottmik is gone before you even realize that the verses have started.
So it's a double, it's, you know, half and half. It depends on what side you're on, where if you're an Olivia Lux, it's like, well, bitch, I want my time to shine. I want a bigger verse.
Right.
But if you're a Gottmik, it's like, get me in and out of this shit as soon as possible.
So of the 7, we're not gonna go in each of their lyrics.
Okay.
Of the 7, who was your top 1 or 2, if you don't have a specific top, with the lyrics and or performance?
So I have a confession. Going in, when the cast was announced, and I was looking at each one of these performers, I saw Olivia and I thought, I'm gonna like this girl for as long as she lasts.
Yeah.
I realized I was completely wrong. I love her so fucking much. Like, he stepped on for her verse and I was like, where did this come from? I was not ready. Like,
That hair, that outfit, the verse, the vocals,
everything.
everything.
Oh my
It
God.
was so good. I can't tell you a word that she said because I was just like,
I was mesmerized.
just staring.
I would say Olivia owned 51% of that company. Miss Simone owned the other 49%.
Oh yeah.
When she literally walked up into the center,
My name's Simone.
I'm here for the throne.
I'm here.
I basically
Girl.
stood up and said, well, bitch, work.
You can have it.
Like, that was the one, like, you could have just stopped right there. My name's Simone, I'm here for the throne. I'm done. I don't need to hear the rest from you. Like, I'm good.
I know exactly what you are.
I know what you are. I know you can put out a lyric and a verse and like,
And you can look good doing it.
hello.
Bro, she was literally just wearing a bra and like a panty, and
It
I wasn't mad
worked.
about. I wasn't mad about it.
So whose verses were you not impressed by?
So I know people really liked like Tina's ability to rap, but
Once again,
I couldn't hear what she was saying. I hated those golden feathers that she had on her shoulders, which didn't make sense. And like all of her movements seemed awkward and like I'm forgetting what I'm doing, but y'all are in a circle around
Right.
me. So I'm just gonna like bounce around and do whatever. And I didn't hear anything she said. I wasn't mesmerized by it. I was just like, this is happening.
Tina is so focused on let me brand myself depending on, because you know, we can kind of look at it and think that she is a front runner
Yeah.
or whatever, but in the moment you don't know when you're gonna go home. She is so focused on I'm gonna brand myself every moment. It's like, but let us as an audience get to know and love you. Like, I know the name. I don't need to be reminded of who you are. I need to know who you are as a person and your personality, and if I want to like that person.
We're gonna play a little game. We're gonna do love it or hate it for the runway.
Okay.
So, Gottmik,
I love it so much. I loathe her. I hate her for how amazing she looks in this.
same. So I'm gonna say love it.
Absolutely love it.
I love it. Say you love it.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
La me sachet away.
Yeah. So I have mixed reviews.
Okay.
I really, really like it. I know that you think it's shit.
I would never say a girl is shit. I mean, that daytime was shit. That nighttime was shit. Later on, her lame was shit. And I'm not a fan.
I hate it. Hate it.
Hate it. I love this outfit from head to shin.
Love it. I love it.
I love it.
So we're moving into the final act of the show. We go through the judges' critiques. We have our top two. We have our potential bottom two.
Yeah, like
And-
Candy and Gottmik think they are going to lip sync and someone's going home.
And we definitely know that Olivia and Simone are our top two. And they're all worried. We come back to the judges, and Olivia and Simone are our top two, and everyone else is safe. There is no elimination this week. We have a lip sync between Olivia and Simone.
For the win.
I think that they both turned out this performance so fiercely. Like,
Okay.
they had two very separate
Styles. Yeah.
and like Olivia definitely went with this more campy feel to the song, and Simone just kind of like felt the emotion of the song and sent it out. And I think either one of them could have won that lip sync, but I think it was deservedly in Simone's favor.
Okay. I'm gonna disagree a little bit with that. Shocking. Have another disagreement.
Oh my god, it's so soon already.
You know, this whole episode and even episode 1, I have written my love letter to Olivia. I have put it in an envelope. I have licked the envelope and like wrote the address. I never expected camp from Miss Olivia Lux. And when I saw her, like, there's like a line in the first verse when she's like falling, and then she literally stumbles over.
Yeah, that was so great.
At that moment I was like, stamp it, signed, sealed, delivered. Like,
I'm yours.
I love Olivia. Like, this is Olivia Lux stan account.
So, that was this episode. We are so excited to see the next episode.
With the other 6 bitches.
Yeah, we're getting our losers of the lip syncs. Whip syncs.
I mean, they got whipped, so.
They got whipped. And
That is whipped.
they're going to perform their own version of the song. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. Are you excited to see anybody in particular next week?
So if there are, I would call out 2 people from the losing.
I already know who you're gonna say.
From the losers group that, I'll actually, you know what? There are 3 people from the losers group
3.
that I think will stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's Rose,
Okay.
Denali, and Utica.
Yep. Those are definitely 3 front runners for me, and I'm really excited to see them. And you guys can catch up with us next week to find out how everybody did and what we thought about their performances. And we're so glad that you were able to join us here for Drag Race RuView for episode 2 of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We'll catch you next Tuesday for episode 3. Bye.
Bye.